I I hesitate, then stop talking. I should go wash up. Excuse me.
Okay. At this moment, Maximilian comes out of the room, and the the crewman escorts you to the washroom. You wash up for a bit, Maximilian, and then as you are uh, leaving the washroom, again at the corner of your eye, you spot something in the mirror again, just
Again?
like you did in the castle. And again, it looks like at first you thought it was your reflection, but it looks like another shadow was peeking from the mirror and then ducking away at the
Dang it.
last minute as soon as you looked in that direction peripherally.
I
Dang it.
stop what I'm doing, like slowly turning around to this mirror.
Hmm.
I take a few steps towards it, not really understanding
Okay.
what it is I'm
Okay.
seeing. Just like touching the rim of the mirror.
Yeah, you touch the rim, and as far as you can tell,
It's a
it's a
mirror.
normal mirror. Yeah. You try to look into it and see if you can find whatever you saw, but it's not there. It's not there.
I just sigh deeply and take a step back, then turn around and walk away.
Okay. The rest of you guys are, I'm assuming, getting ready for bed slash going to the washroom.
Mhm.
If you do, it's uneventful when you guys are in the washroom and you get ready for bed.
Hmm.
So before you guys fall asleep, we have the mages in one room and we have the bromance in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of the two rooms say anything to each other?
Um. Yeah, actually, I would talk to Elle.
Hmm.
I love how you guys are separating a lot in this group
Yeah.
because it's pretty interesting to see how you guys
All of
interact when the others are not there. So
Yeah.
go ahead. Let's go with the magi, the not magi. Yes. What does Gwaine say to Lealden? I'm sorry, to Delwyn.
Oh wait, you should move his token, by the way. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm still in the mage room. Get me out of there.
Get it.
Oh, sorry. I can move.
Oh,
This way.
sister.
This way,
I can move
please.
him.
I'm glued to the
Yes.
wall. Help me. Help. It's a trap.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
So, Delwyn, Elle, speaking quietly, how long do you wish to hide this from our allies? What ends us together?
As long as possible, seeing how as our guard friend's not particularly happy with me, and... well, let's just say I'm not sanctioned, as he put it.
Hmm. So you're afraid that he would not approve of an apostate, as he would approve of a circle mage?
Yeah, that about sums it up.
I suppose that makes sense, but if things keep on progressing as we're going to be seeming to have to travel with each other, you may want to open up before, at some point before it just comes out. It may make things worse. I'm not saying now, but you should consider it.
Yeah, consider it considered. But I'd much rather cross that bridge when I come to it.
And so, have you always been in apostate, or are you escape circle? That's a curiosity.
Oh no, I got out of there before they could get their hands on me.
Hmm.
Not a fan. Don't see why anybody would want to be locked away.
It's not so bad. You can find good people there who are also there. You can make a new family until it's taken away from you.
Yeah. That reminds
And
me
then
of a
we can-
family reunion I had recently. Or, well, 22 years ago. I can't say. Didn't go over so well.
Really, I'm sorry to hear that. The last time I saw my family, it did not go so well, either. In many ways, as much as it hurts me to say, in the end, the few friends I made in the circle were way more family to me than my real family. Well, except for maybe my father. Mm, I mean, never mind.
Well, I won't pry. I mean, you've been keeping my secret well enough, so...
Yes. And I will keep that secret as long as you wish, and as long as I can.
Good. And, you know, you can feign innocence when the time comes. I won't care. Gotta watch out for yourself. That's how I live my life.
I see. Sounds lonely.
Yeah, you meet some interesting people.
But
Like-
where do you meet those people? They just leave from your life. So quick and brief. There's
Well,
no develop, should they not?
well,
Oh, friendship.
I have some interesting friends, and some of them stick around.
I cannot get a good read on you. I'm going to be completely straightforward with that. But I think I'm starting to see that you are not a bad person.
Yeah. No, I'm not a bad person. I mean,
Unless
We-
cheating at cards makes you a bad person.
well then I guess the captain's a bad person too.
Very bad.
So yeah, there's that. We all got skills.
Well, but I have one thing to say, and more today. I understand you apparently lived a very individual life. But in the group, whether you reveal is a secret, your secret or not, we should try to work here closely together. You should even try to get along with Maximilian, if you could.
We're getting along fine. No, at least this much, Gwen. You're a good guy. You're all good people. And the fact that we're all stuck here 20 some odd years later, who else am I gonna hang out with? Who else am I gonna talk to? Darkspawn don't make very good company, and the way I see it, I mean, we're all looking for the same answers, so...
I just wanted to make sure that you're willing to be a part of the team, because you can't just look out for yourself. I understand that's how you live your life, but if we're going to get through this, we need to make sure that we can become a team.
When push came to shove, I help out. I mean, that was pretty evident, and, well, not so much with the, trap and the predicament there, but the
Exactly.
fighting and the escaping.
Yes. But I just do not want any more of that using each other as pawns like that. And just...
I just like things getting done faster. All the dilly-dally and the...
I feel that we'll be going to again to talk in circles. Hopefully.
Okay. I promise. And I'm gonna make a deception roll on that too.
Okay. Against deception roll against will.
Oh, that was almost plus 64. Well, nope, I don't have plus 64 to that
Whoa.
check.
Aww.
Be nice if I did.
Okay.
I sound very sincere.
Yes, Gwenail believes her.
I believe that you will try.
I'll do my best.
I did not expect you to change overnight, but I think you will actually try.
We'll get there.
Okay. Meanwhile, the
Go!
guardsmen and Meanwhile, the guardsmen and the Konari.
I'm putting my sword and shield down on the floor.
I'm sitting on the bed, not lying down, but
Mhm.
just sitting on it, just like facing, sort of like downish.
Lee,
Yeah.
I think things will become very difficult very soon. Can I count on you when the time comes
To do what?
to fight back? I sit down on the rug. You have been nothing but sincere and respectful since I met you.
Within reason.
He doesn't really seem to care that he's a Kinori at all.
I'm sorry I wasn't entirely honest about my background.
We all have our secrets, Lee. You know someone in Kirkwall. I can see it in your eyes. Don't you?
That's correct.
It's been 20 years, Lee. 20 years. Do you still think they're alive? Whoever it is, you know?
One, at least if he stayed smart, one should still be there.
Well, at least you got someone.
I'm sorry about Donovan.
You know what my mother used to tell me? There's no shame in honest sorrow. All we can do is remember those who have passed on and carry on in their name. And that's what I'm gonna do. All those I've lost, my friends, family. All we can do is remember them and be stronger for it, you know. Sit back and just relax.
All right. You all turn in for the night and you go to sleep.
That was a good scene.
That was really good. Good job. Good RPing, you guys.
I'm sorry, I'm not very talkative. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get into it.
It's good. It's good.
It's really good. I'm loving to see the relationships of your characters developing the way they are. It's really cool to see, to watch. Okay. Maximilian, while you doze off eventually, the interesting thing about the night is it's a relatively quiet night, and the ship itself is rather smooth. The ride is rather smooth. And when you fall asleep, you eventually open your eyes and you find yourself you find yourself back in Denerim Castle. And you are dressed in not just a guardsman's uniform, but in a royal guardsman's uniform.
Ooh.
As if you've been promoted. And you are currently overseeing. You're currently on guard, watching the beautiful the landscape of Denerim, and you feel a firm hand grab your shoulder and pat it, and you turn and you see Plim smiling at you, also in regal uniform. And it seems like a really, really a wonderful day. The sun is shining. All of a sudden, darkness starts to shroud the land. You start to hear screams. You and Plim look around you, and you see the earth open up, and it regurgitates darkspawn. Fires are being set, and people are running all over the place. You see guardsmen down on the ground trying to maintain order as the darkspawn slay without prejudice both armed and unarmed people of all ages, old and young. You and Plim take out your sheaths and your shield, and as you're about to give him the order to follow you into combat, a arrow hits Plim in the chest. His regal armor that he was wearing somehow disappears, and it penetrates into his heart, and he falls over into your arms as he looks up at you with very distant eyes. Then you hear the most blood-curdling scream that rocks the entire city as you look up. It is a massive, gnarly, sickly-looking dragon.
Oh.
The dragon breathes forth a massive black, vile-looking breath down onto the city as you watch in horror. Then everything freezes around you. Everything stops, and everything is silent. You start to smell a very familiar, calming smell, sort of like a smell that reminds you of your childhood, of your house, of your childhood home. It smells like your mother, the sweet smell of your mother. You turn to your right, and you see the figure of a woman, dressed in an outfit that you again recognized her wearing way back when you were like 5 years old. You haven't seen her wear this dress in a long time, and you make your way towards her, and you turn and your eyes meet, and your mother sees you with she has a comforting look on her face, but also a very saddened look on her face. And she says to you, "This isn't right, my son. This wasn't supposed to happen." How do you respond?
Mother, what am I supposed to do?
Go ahead.
I don't know what to do.
She shakes her head and says, "You need to go back, Maximilian. You need to find a way to go back, to stop this from happening. This was not supposed to happen."
I don't know how. I don't know how, Mother. Please, give me something.
She reaches out to you and places her hand on your cheek very gently. It feels so real, and again, you can smell the sweet smell of her perfume or whatever it is that is about her that reminds you of her mom. It's so vivid in your nostrils, as if and you feel calm but determined and motivated at the same time. And she looks at you deep in your eyes, and as it looks like she's about to say something, and then the image disappears, and you wake up. It's morning. Everybody's awake relatively at the same time, I would say. So, each of you guys wake up the next morning. As you wake up, once again, the crew members are there to escort you back into the washroom. If you do, Maximilian, nothing happens out of ordinary with you. And then you will be escorted to the mess hall once again. So if you would like to maneuver yourselves back into the mess hall, all four of you this time. Delwyn doesn't have special treatment.
Dang.
I don't know where you guys want to sit, but...
Yeah, I'm going to switch things up today. I'm going to sit on the left side of the table today. I feel like things are going to go my way if I sit on the left side of the table today.
Alright.
Getting my dagger ready for any table stabbing that is needed.
Yes.
You see that they tried to cover up where you stabbed it the first time,
Eh.
like a napkin. Kind of.
All right. And then, have you moved? Have you moved your token yet, Logan?
No. I was gonna go on the left side of the table.
You're like, no, that was mine.
You ruined. You
I moved my token for you.
Thank you.
Get
Now
off!
the
Okay,
pieces are all coming together.
So is Delwyn sitting on a separate table from the other three? Is Delwyn sitting on a separate
Yeah.
table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cogs is sitting at his spot on the corner there with another crewman.
Is he?
And as you come in, he lifts his head out from what appears to be a bowl of mushy substance, and he waves. Hello, good morning.
I flipped the virtual coin, by the way. Apparently sitting with Darwin.
Which I won't
Okay.
mind.
All right, so you're sitting with Delwyn. When you guys sit down, Archer comes in and he ladles you a grayish-looking slop on the bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one doesn't look nearly as appetizing as yesterday's
Well,
meal.
this is a severe
Yeah.
downgrade. She did say it's hit or miss.
Yep.
Mm.
The crewmen don't seem to mind. You figure they probably are used to this by now. And Cog seems to be lapping it up, whatever it is. But yeah, it doesn't look right to you. And if anyone, are you any of you guys going to attempt to eat it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take a taste test.
Okay, you take a taste test. It's yeah, it's not that great at all, actually. The texture is all wrong, and the flavors is it kind of makes you want to puke, actually. So everybody, roll for me everyone roll me a Constitution check.
Oh,
Oh
really?
boy.
My character's just been staring at it the whole time.
The closest
Poking it with the
the
spoon.
closest focus I can see to this is probably drinking, like being able to keep it down, I guess. Keep your food down,
Mhm.
drinking. If you have a focus, I don't think any of you do. So just Constitution.
Okay. I only have stamina. So. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think stamina would apply. Oh wow.
Ooh.
Just
Wow.
gonna shovel it down, you know. Nutrients is
Yeah, you
nutrients.
shovel it down.
Okay. What test? What is the test of again?
Constitution.
Right.
You're able to. Maximilian's able to scarf it down.
Wait! Don't count the line. I just realized I used the wrong
Okay.
boost. I mixed that with communication. My
Delwyn-
bad. Okay,
Yeah.
use that one.
Delwyn feels a little sick, but you manage to keep.
If I hold my nose, I can.
Yes,
I-
exactly. And then Gwenail, do you have Constitution? Your Constitution check, Gwenail?
Oh,
He's not
my
even-
character hasn't eaten. He's just staring
Oh,
at
you're just
it.
staring at
He's
it.
just been playing with his-
Waiting for everybody else's reaction.
Yeah,
You
he's just
feel
like-
like you need to, Lealden, you feel like you need to throw up badly. What do you do?
I can't just do it on. I don't know what to do.
Where do you go? Are you staying there? Are you staying put because you're about to throw up on the table?
I'm going to leave the room. I'm going to rush out to something.
Where are you going?
How far is the washroom?
The washroom is all the way back upstairs in the main deck.
God damn. What are those two big square thingies in the center of that hole there?
Can I try can I make a reading on him to see if he's about to throw up?
Are those just pits in the center of that room right there? Those two dark
Yeah,
squares.
if you look at the main deck, you see the grates. So those aren't
gotta be a-
open to you because those open up to the grates at the top. Those are walls. As far as you're concerned, those are solid walls.
Okay, dang. I was gonna say just go down.
Go
Okay.
throw up in the animal
The
pens.
kitchen is right
Okay.
next door. You know the kitchen is right next door.
There's gotta be a bucket somewhere around.
I can't just throw up in the sink in front of the dude who just served me food.
Yeah. So what do? You can't. You've got time's ticking. You got to make a
I'm
decision,
not-
otherwise you're about to throw up on the
I'm
table.
right. Okay, I'm running out of the room and into the animal pens.
Okay, go ahead and move your token. All right.
Right
You
there.
go into the animal pen. There's like a trough where it looks like
Oh,
animals normally eat from, which you could, you could do your business there if you wish.
I don't know how much longer I can last if I don't go
All right,
there.
you rush out and you make your way into the that one unoccupied pen, and you splooge. You throw up. You throw up into the trough. As Leoldin rushes out of the room, a few of the crewmen start to snicker a bit. And then they go back to their eating. Gwinnell is just staring at his food still. How's Gwinnell?
I look at that, and I look back at the food, and I go, got any bread?
The crewman shrugs because they're not the chef. They shrug, so they don't know if there's any bread.
It's not so bad if you just hold your nose.
Nah, it's food, I guess.
I'll be back.
Maximilian just seems kind of distant in general, so he's probably not really thinking, what he's eating. Just eating it.
Gwinnell goes into the kitchen, and are you going into the kitchen? Where are you going?
He doesn't budge it. He tries to come in politely, gracefully, whatever.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that. He's doing what?
He's trying to come in politely, gracefully.
Sure. There is actually...
Yes, like knocks or something.
There actually there isn't actually a door in there. It's just an arch. It just opens up into the kitchen.
Okay, so he kind of knocks on the inside.
You knock, and it looks like Archer is currently washing some dishes, and he looks up in your direction, and he just stares at you, waiting for you to say something.
Monsieur Archer, do you have anything, perhaps some bread to go with this, perhaps?
Archer puts down the pan he's washing. He picks up a towel, wipes his hands, goes over to a cupboard, opens it up, pulls out what appears to be a small loaf, or a piece of a loaf, and then he hands it to you. It's rather stale, but it looks edible, but it's stale.
I've snacked on worse, says an Norwegian.
When you say that, Archer raises an eyebrow as if he's just been insulted.
Oh, does he speak Norwegian?
Oh, you said the Norwegian?
Yeah.
He still raises his eyebrow.
I say to him, do you speak Norwegian?
Yes or no?
He nods.
I did not mean that as an insult to you. It is just stale. Thank you very much. Continue speaking Norwegian.
When out of character, when you can't talk, you do a lot of listening. Take that as you will. So.
He goes back, sits down at table and looks at the food again. He's like, well, here I go. I'm going to eat a little bit of this.
The bread, you mean?
He's going to use the bread to help eat it so he can get more out.
Roll your Constitution and add 1.
And should help reduce the nauseous effects of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and add 1 to your Constitution roll.
Good old absorbing bread.
Oh, no.
Looking good for you, my friend.
The bread
I'm not
is...
eating a lot of it, though, so hopefully I don't throw up like him.
What did you say, Gwinnell?
No, I only took a taste test, and that's what made me throw up.
What are you saying, Gwinnell?
I said I was only dipping a little bit in sweat to try to get a little bit of sweat to help get more food out of it when I was mostly eating the bread.
Yeah, okay.
So hopefully I don't throw up from that.
You don't throw up from it, but you can't eat any more of the schlop. If you want, you can continue eating the bread, but you'd feel like if you attempt to take another bite of the schlop, you're not gonna make it.
Oh, she says Western shows to eat food when she's on kitchen duty.
Oh. Well, who is Jodie? She your girlfriend?
Huh? Did I say that out loud?
Well, not the girlfriend part, but you.
Well, no, wait, no, I didn't. Wait, I didn't agree. Oh, it's actually very complicated. I do not know what we are. I disappeared. The last time I saw her, shortly later, I disappeared.
Yeah, we all kind of just poofed.
You know what she is? 22 years older. That's what she is.
And I bet she still looks magnificent.
Wait, doesn't that put her in my age?
Yes, it does. Out of character, it does.
Oh, well.
God, no.
There's a method to my madness sometimes.
We could have a trial. We could do that.
What? Stop trying to steal my girlfriend.
I'm just giving him this small smile. Yes,
Did your character actually say that? That would make her my
I
age?
did.
His character.
Excuse me, what?
Oh,
I do not say...
guess it would make that fiery Templar 22 years older too. Yeah. Interesting to see how he's aged.
Do you think even out of character? Do you even think the old woman's alive anymore?
Yeah, no, she's
That's
scared.
hilarious.
She's even older. She still thinks you.
Everyone else did. She's still alive.
She
Not
thinks, all this time she thinks you've just been very late in getting her milk.
Yes.
Did you get lost on the way?
She roped a dock spawn to getting her milk for her. Rah!
Okay, so continuing on, you guys finish up your breakfast, and you hear the crewmen talking about landing within the next hour. So,
Have I come back in? Have I come back in at this time?
Yeah. You can come back. You can come back. Sorry, you can come back before the conversation ends if you wish.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that after your conversation in the breakfast area, if Gwenail wants to talk to Cogs, he can. If you guys want to do other things under the supervision of the crew, you can. So does Lealden do anything when he comes back?
Just come in and I'm sorry. That was too much for me. I'm sorry. It's strong, bold. I couldn't. No. Trying to mask up that it wasn't just. I don't want to outright say that it was really bad. Trying to excuse it.
You're gonna finish your part, or can I take it?
Please, you go ahead.
One of the crewmen says. One of the crewmen chuckles under his breath, talking to the Kunari next to him. He speaks in the Kunari tongue. I don't know if any of you know the Kunari tongue. Does Lealden know the Kunari tongue? I don't think.
No,
Lealden
no. We agree. I agree that because the Bashath would know, but I agree that because of my backstory, I would not know Kunari.
So the two begin conversing as you come in, and one of them seems to be laughing at whatever the Kunari said.
I just sort of frown at what they're talking about because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I would like to. That was one of my things I'm working, but no, they're not.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that we actually figured out who's going to get what enchantment and so on that night and stuff, so I can give and I would have gotten the stuff from you guys, so I can give it to a good friend Cox here.
Cogs will be fine to attach whatever it is you guys want to attach. He's cool with that.
If you could help us with these enchantments on these items, as we discussed before.
Oh, yes, of course. Sounds good to me.
All right. If you'd like, by the way, you can have the rest of my food.
Are you sure?
Yes, I've had quite enough, thank you.
Oh, okay. He'll eat more. Now.
So, this is Cogs.
Hello! He says he waves at you. And he says, "Wow, you're very pretty." He says.
Thank you.
Do you get
You're
that
very you. Yes.
I'll get that all the time. Anything else happens during breakfast before you guys land in Kirkwall?
Are the enchantments happening before or after we land?
The chances are happening before. So there's like an hour window. So if you guys have anything you want to do necessarily before you land, you speak now, forever hold your peace.
I want to see if I can speak with the captain one more time.
Okay. Yeah, you can ask one of the crew members to let you speak to the captain. The crew will escort you up to the upper deck.
All right.
And the captain appears to be... Here, I'm moving her around. She appears to be at the front of the hull, watching your arrival towards Kirkwall. She has sort of like a telescope in her eyes, looking as she's navigating. One of the crewmen says, "Captain, this one says he wishes to speak with you." The captain, without looking, says, "Very well, I'll allow it." And the crewman motions you to go ahead and approach her if you'd like.
Ma'am, I'm afraid I have maybe some things I would like to ask you about.
Go right ahead, she says, again, still not looking in your direction.
What you said about our people there, it is true.
What happened to my tribe, she says.
And mine.
Yes, it is true.
Are there others such as yourself?
Well, are you referring to us half-breeds? They're all around you. Most of us came from that specific event, yes.
And no others branched off, went elsewhere?
Out of character, you're asking her the others.
Other survivors, other people. Because I remember she mentioned that she was surprised that she was able to find a quote unquote pure blood Kunari.
Yeah.
Are the Kunari just wiped out, or are the half bloods only that remain?
She says there are few survivors. My mother, unfortunately, did not make it through childbirth.
I'm sorry.
She says you should be. You weren't there.
It's not my fault that it happened.
She finally puts down her telescope and she turns to you and she asks you. She looks up at your horns and she asks you, "Why? Why did you decide to insult your own heritage? Why did you try to deface your own body? The very genes that your own mother gave you. Let me guess. Did your parents put you up to this?
It was for my protection.
It's an insult to the one who birthed you," she says. You may be full Kanari, but don't think that you and I are on equal footing here.
All right. Can't kick that voice very often. All right. I want you to know that I'm very sorry about what happened. I wish that things could have happened differently. If they could have happened differently.
So if you were never taken away by those humans, you would have remained with your mother?
I can't say whether I'd be better off or worse. But maybe things would have been different.
Guess we'll never know. You can't go back and change the past, she says.
No, we can't.
Have you ever heard of anything such as what's happened to me and my associates before?
She shakes her head. No. No, I can't say I have.
When your handiwork I saw back in the room we appeared in, did you, that library, those markings on the floor, did any of that seem familiar?
Again, she shakes her head. That was the very first time I've ever been in the castle. I assume that whoever owned that laboratory was probably the mage that was serving the royal family. But that was years ago, before the blight came upon Ferelden.
Right. What is Kirkwall like now?
Well, it's arguably one of the safest places in all of Thedas. Very crowded, unfortunately. Not everyone is able to get within its walls. It's for the safety of those within. As you can imagine, food, supplies, and all that is very scarce. The champion has to be very selective of who is allowed in and out of Kirkwall. So I suggest that when you arrive in the city, don't expect to be able to remain there for very long.
All right. Out of character, still thinking of anything else I want to... Would you want the rest of this? Show her the amulet.
She looks at you curiously and says, "You would give that to me?"
If what you say is true, then you probably deserve it more than I.
She doesn't look like she knows how to respond. She thinks very carefully. And she opens up her hand slowly.
I'm gently laid in her hand.
You lay it into her hand. She examines it very carefully. And then she tries to put the medallion together. As soon as she does, there is a sudden flash of light that bursts forth from the amulet, and they fuse together magically. The medallion, the amulet starts to glow.
Oh, he dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, not a very good time for him to drop. There was a big flash, and then Leoldin disappears.
Dang, my internet's having these little hiccups at my laptop's old days.
Surprise! It sends you back in time again. No, that's not what it does.
That was the trigger. No,
no, that's not what it does.
no, sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I rested it in her hands, and she
snapped it together like a Lego, and then the torchlight went off.
She looks down on her amulet, very puzzled, and says, finally, "Curious. That's never happened before." The amulet now looks like it's completely won.
Okay. Wait, what is... I'm confused what you meant by that's never happened before.
Don't you see? And you can definitely see that there's some sort. The amulet seems to be pulsating with some sort of magical energy. Even though you're not a mage yourself, you can sense it. And the amulet, again, miraculously has been fused together. It's whole now, as if it was never split in the first place.
Do you recognize that?
I was told that this was an amulet of my people,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody knew exactly what its significance was. Although it seems to be very significant right now.
I would say so.
She calls one of her crewmen and says, "Get me cogs immediately." The crewmen rush over. Meanwhile, you guys, what are you guys doing while Lealden is up talking to Maelstrom, Captain Maelstrom?
My
Oh,
character
no.
actually wants to speak with her as well because he has a few questions and whatnot, but they will just be quick. So, but
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can. Well, how about the other two? What are the other two doing?
I'm going to actually talk to Cogs.
Okay.
I assume Cogs is busy playing around with runes and stuff.
Yeah, currently Cogs is probably, at this moment, Cogs is probably with Gwinnell in the engine room. This thing over here, by the way, is the engine. This thing right here.
What? Sorry, I gotta zoom out. Okay, I see. Okay.
Right there. So if you guys want to find him, he's over
Yeah.
here.
Might be fun to watch him work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk to him, you can talk to him while he's working.
I am occasionally, I'm like actually marveling a little bit at the engine, while he's working on the rooms at points, because I did read a lot about them, just trying to get it in a bit more.
Okay.
Right.
The nugs are enjoying their schlop.
Ew.
It appears to be the same schlop you were served for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Ah. Well, then I guess my throwing up didn't really change anything then, did it?
What is the question you wanted to ask, Maximilian?
I move up beside him and I clear my throat. Cogs,
Yes? Maximilian!
that's right.
Ah, I have good memory.
Indeed you do. I have. About yesterday.
Without walking closer, after looking up an engine.
He hesitates. Do you know why I said what I did?
He stops what he's doing with his runes for a moment, thinks, and then he kind of just shrugs.
Maximilian is looking around. He's got a lot of people around him. I've lost people very precious to me, and I'm in a very confusing situation, and I took it out on you, and that was my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, he says, and he looks down and he nods. Oh, yes, I understand. I lost people too.
Yeah, and that does not make us special. A lot of people lost loved ones. I just forgot that. I'm sorry.
He sort of he looks down on the floor again, and he looks up again, and then he taps you on the arm. And then when you look at him, he says, "You know what cogs do? Cogs focus sadness, anger into something good. For example, it says, when Dagna died, he just said when Dagna died, if you haven't caught it. Cogs feels he owes it to her good friend to finish project. Cogs don't think that he's able to finish the ship as fast as Cogs did. So,
Yeah.
in a way, bad things happen, but I think that it matters what you do with the things that happen to you.
Wise words from such a small man. He gives him a small bow.
He looks surprised. Why you do that?
He's being
Cold.
respectful.
It's called respect, my friend.
Oh. I see.
Well then, enough emotion for one day.
He finishes up his runes, and one of the crewmen comes down and says, "Cogs, Captain wants to see you." Oh, okay. Excuse me? And he makes his way upstairs.
The guys before the guys said, I wanted to speak with the captain myself.
Follow him. He points at Cogs as he goes up. Cogs goes up to the upper deck. Is things still happening down below that I should know about before I go back up to the main deck?
Just giving in Delwyn a quick nod.
Yep, Delwyn and Maximilian are by themselves now.
Well,
So,
Try not to kill each other while we're gone.
awkward.
yeah. Yeah, this is awkward.
And then the words of Grenale focus back to it. Try to be nicer with each other, will you?
Yeah. Sorry about your friends.
Really? Did not see that coming.
Yes, well,
They caught me off guard.
scholarly friend has convinced me that it would be in our best interest to probably get along a little bit better, and
That's good to hear. However, I don't know how sincere you are. That said,
well, it's
I'm-
like Cog said, you know, we all lost people, and you said it best. I mean, there's a lot of feeling behind that, so I understand that.
thank you. He says, almost surprised.
Surprised. Mm-hmm.
We fight together or die alone. That's how it is now.
Yeah,
And
crazy
you
situation.
have proven yourself useful more than once, after all. Perhaps I was a bit too harsh on you. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I say as I move up the stairs.
Well, that went well.
Okay, back up onto the upper deck.
I'm sorry, that was a beautiful interaction.
Yeah, that was very good. Good job, guys.
I'm gonna have to watch that back again on the
Yes.
highlight thing afterwards.
Cogs arrives. I'm sorry. Were you gonna say anything?
I sometimes just love the amount of masculineness with the characters and stuff that in this with the surrounds, but that just amuses me.
Yeah.
The head nods and whatnot, the evasive emotions and stuff. My
Exact
characters are most emotional and whatnot.
In a way, that's where the two of them are quite similar.
Yeah.
Cogs reaches the upper deck, and the captain, as soon as he comes up, says, "Cogs, I need you to look at this." She takes off the amulet and she hands it to him. Cogs looks at the amulet and he goes, "Whoa, this is interesting magic." He studies it for a little bit, and the captain asks, "What do you make of it?" He continues studying it, and then he says, "Wow, this is... If I understand this magic, this is cloaking magic." Cloaking magic, the captain says. "Yes, protective cloaking against darkspawn. captain says, as in, it makes the person hard for Darkspawn to see? Well, yes. Hard for Darkspawn to see, smell, sense. How convenient, the captain says with a grin. And she basically asks him, so Cogs, how does it work? And Cogs says, oh, well, it's active now, so it always works. As long as it's active. You know, as long as it's not broken, like it was. How you fix it anyway? The captain turns towards Lealden and says, I didn't fix it. He did.
I did. Yes, I did. I fixed it.
The captain holds out her hand again, and Cogs gives it back to her, and the captain says, "Good job, Cogs. Good job as always." Cogs looks very pleased with himself and says, "Oh, you're welcome, Captain. You're welcome." By this point, the other two, if you want to catch up, you can catch up.
Yeah.
So you're up on the main deck, and by this point, the ship is starting to land just outside of Kirkwall, in the port area, in the docks area. Kirkwall, for those of you who are from Kirkwall, it looks kind of the same from the distance, except the main difference that you see is that the wall surrounding Kirkwall has grown in height. It has risen. And you also see what appears to be a great number, like maybe even 100 or 200 individual tents camped right outside of the walls. They look like a mass of refugees. And at the gates of Kirkwall, you see a long line of people pounding on the door, trying to demand entrance into the city, but nobody's responding to them. Nobody's allowing them inside. The city itself looks not as well kept as you remember it as being. The full city looks like it's been seeing better days, so to speak, as you get closer. The ship finally lands in the water, in the docks. And if there's anything that you guys want to say to the captain or the crew before it lands, now's the time.
Thank you again for dinner. It was lovely.
The pleasure was all mine, dear, the captain says. You're not so bad for a full-breed elf.
Captain, I have a question, if I may.
Certainly, guardsman.
How do you expect us to enter the city with all these refugees?
We're already in the city, she says.
Oh.
You're with me, aren't you?
Very well.
So you guys finally land, unless Gwinnell's about to do something?
It's nothing as we roleplay. I'll just like, so he's like, he just wants to ask a little bit about the condition of the different areas, like Navarra, how that's what cities are still standing other than Kirkwall. You don't have to give me detailed information, so that you can just, so he has information later on and can present it or whatever. So we have now and whatnot.
Navarra. I'm looking at the map again. Let's see.
Navarra's past Kirkwall.
Yeah, Navarra's past Kirkwall.
Yeah.
So I'm taking you guys to the map. So, yes, Navarra is fairly far out from Ferelden, so the blight hasn't completely reached Navarra yet, but it's pretty much spreading out. Like the heart of the blight is certainly from Ferelden, and it's basically has been spreading past the Frostback Mountains. It's a little hard for the Darkspawn to expand much because the Frostback Mountains make such a nice barrier, natural barrier. but they are spreading through the Dales into the Heartlands. And just recently, they managed to start dispelling into Orlais, starting to. Navarra, though, it's harder for Darkspawn to cross the sea really, really well. So if they really want to get to Navarra, they pretty much have to go around Orlais. And that's another reason.
Navarra, Ravani, and what you call it, where Zevron's from. I can't think of it right now. And Tiva.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're okay. They're okay, but
There's probably a lot of refugees spilling into those places as well.
correct. Yes. Most of the people that have escaped from Ferelden have gone into the northern areas. Yes.
That survived. God.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys arrive in Kirkwall. So, we have a map. You guys are in the docks area. Ignore Anders' clinic and Gamlen's house because you don't know who those people are. However, Gallows, the Hanged Man, Lowtown, Darktown, Hightown, Viscount's Keep, those are all still there. But not
The Hanged
necessarily
Man.
as you
Let's go there.
All right. The captain says, now that you're off my ship, you are no longer my responsibility.
Well then.
No, we weren't that bad, were we?
She says, not too horrible. What do you guys do? You guys are in the docks.
Oh, I also give her a final, like, take care.
She
No,
She nods without responding.
All right.
I need to go. I want to send my farewell to my friend Cogs, and pick up my stuff.
Okay. Pick up your stuff.
Yeah, our stuff that we enchanted stuff.
Yeah,
so yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
get all that stuff from Cogs.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you get who got which enchantment or?
Yeah.
I figured
Cogs
from my
waves
gal
as
when I
you
was there.
Cogs waves as you leave, and he looks very excited because he's off the ship, and it looks like he can hang out with the rest of his crewmen now that they've docked. So.
Mhm.
So I don't think anyone here knows their way around except for Lealden and Delwyn.
And for Delwyn, that information's mighty rusty.
Exactly.
It's mighty rusty for all of you. Anyone that's been here at this point. I mean, 22 years into the future.
Yeah, it'd even be more
Uh-huh.
so because, like, Delwyn hasn't been in Kirkwall since he was, like,
Yeah.
a teenager.
So a lot of the city definitely has changed for you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I kind of recognize this. What's this doing here? That doesn't go there.
I guess we need to find the champion then.
Yes.
I wonder if... He's a champion.
Well, they're a champion.
Are there lots of people here in the docks, I guess?
Yes. There are many fishermen here who have I guess arrived with their catch. As you can imagine, Ferelden itself isn't really probably the best place to find game. So a lot of people have turned to fishing in order to feed large cities.
I walk up to a pair of fishermen.
Okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Oi!
Do you perhaps know a person named or called the champion in this city?
Of course I know about the champion.
Of course. Do you know where he keeps his residence?
He laughs. And the Viscount's Keep, of course.
I see. Well, thank you, good man.
He goes back to what he's doing.
You caught all that?
Yes, we have a destination.
I'm looking around. Do I see any Templar?
I don't think you see any Templar in the docks area. I don't think so.
Yes, definitely keeping an eye out.
Right.
So, no time to waste.
Okay?
So, I think it's... No... Lee, do you know this? You probably know this place better than I do. Which way to keep again?
Should be following the giant stair. It's over there.
Right.
I admit I've mainly spent most of my time in Lowtown. Only traveled to Hightown once or twice.
Yeah.
So we are lost.
Right.
Mostly been stuck in the alienage, so...
Yeah, the alienage. As soon as Delwyn says that, Lealden, you realize where you've seen Delwyn before, because the alienage is also in Lowtown.
Right.
You've seen Lealden, I guess, closer to your childhood, playing outside in the alienage when he was a lot younger. That's why his face is familiar to you. But you've never officially met him, because I don't think you would have really interacted with many of the elves in the alienage.
And I should so probably bringing that up wouldn't really change anything. So I'll just keep that to myself and finally like saying, that's where. That's how I remember them.
Okay.
I think we need a plan, people. What are we going to tell this champion? That we just teleported into the future?
That we whisked through time to 22 years into the future before the world was stricken by darkness and depression?
Why not?
Yeah.
It seemed to work with the captain.
Yes, but she has a good sense of humor.
Oh.